Health Insight. Again, we are looking at the gates of the body, and today we are looking at the two gates. Gate number one, which is your stomach, and gate number two, your live, and put a R. To live, you have to have a liver. And why we call them gates? Because they protect what comes in to the body. So that's into the digestive tract here, gate number one. And the protection mechanism, what is its artillery? It's pH 1 or 2.5. 1 to 2.5. A strong pH in the stomach is your best defense for anything that enters into the duodenum, the small intestines, and then eventually down into the colon, and whatever else gets out of the colon, you know where it goes. Now that is your gate number one. Gate number two, and that gate has many entry points from, not from here, but from here. Gate number two, and they all connect up, and they go to bring. Now what we put here is what we call food breakdowns into amino acids, fatty acids, glucose, fructose, galactose, and all the minerals like the magnesium, the calcium, the ions. They're supposed to get released between here to down here and be absorbed, get themselves up into this vein here. Now there's a third place of entry. So your first place of entry is your mouth. The second place of entry is called the portal vein. That one goes into the blood or into the liver, and from the liver does its work, which is stamp everything that needs to go into the blood. So things are not supposed to just get into the blood without the liver stamping it, giving it a stamp of approval to go and do a job, whatever the job is, which is supply the cells for metabolism. So these two gates are very important. So we have to learn to take care of gate number one. Make sure that the pH of your stomach is acidic, and by research 1 to 2.5 seems to be okay. Anything above that seems to be troubles. The liver, well, everything is coming to the liver here in small particles, microparticles, which you could see. That would be the glucose, the fructose, and those things. So we are trying to prevent many things going to the liver, but we cannot prevent them all. So the liver, of course, has its own contraption to dump them out here into the gallbladder so that they get back down into the small intestine. However, if the gallbladder is blocked up, filled up, and the pipes here are blocked up, filled up, then it backs up into the liver, and then eventually the liver is trying to take out waste, can't send it out, it sends it to the skin, and then it leaves some. So this is waste, and it goes down to a place called the kidney, and the kidney itself get blocked up, and then you have kidney issues. So you're looking at kidney issues, but you're not looking at liver. You got to look at your liver, because if the liver is not functioning well, which is the point of failure for the body, then the kidneys eventually will show up. So if your kidney is showing up, more than likely your liver has already been in a state of fatty liver disease or other type of liver issues. But fatty liver disease is one of the major issues here, but it's also related to bile not flowing well. So ask yourself why bile is not flowing well. Now, if you're watching this video, I want to introduce you to a supplement that supports both the gallbladder and the liver. So here is the supplement that I think is as named here, liver blend. See, it says liver blend. I think it is really and truly a remarkable blend that will support the liver. So liver blend has a long list of ingredients. Now, being a person who has had to fight with my own health and learn a lot on my own, a lot of research has gone into this. I would have learned, well, of course we know about the zinc oxide being a very important supplement, or zinc itself being important for liver metabolism, and it helps reduce the liver's inflammation itself. Of course, I always ask, well, why is the liver getting inflamed? And then I will come back and say the liver is getting inflamed because we are getting fructose, a lot of fructose going into the liver, and a lot of the molecules from the whole grains, those grains, I wouldn't call name, going to the liver based upon what I showed you. Remember, digest first, then things goes to the portal vein. Refer back to the start of the video, and up into that portal vein goes to the liver. The liver would select what is good, it stamps it and send it actually into what is called the circulatory blood system. Notice I'm saying circulatory and I'm saying blood system because there is a circulatory lymphatic system to take out waste and to do bring in other materials that we would speak about in subsequent videos. So zinc oxide is known to support. That's why zinc is one of the things we use, not just for our so-called immune system, but also to help the liver. Of course, the liver is helping us to defend. It's a gate. And liver, zinc is very important for enzymatic function. Of course, the liver has to use a lot of enzymatic functions there, 500 functions known about the liver. So we know zinc oxide, that first one here, is important. But we know about the herb curcumin. Everybody speaks about curcumin. And turmeric. So turmeric is there. And notice it is turmeric root, not the extracted compound that is, you take out one thing from the curcumin and you leave everything else and you throw it aside. No, you have the root. So that's a well put together, well thoughtful thing to do. You are using the curcumin in its natural state. So whatever the curcumin has is in it, or the turmeric, whatever the turmeric has, it's there in its natural state. We have garlic in its natural state. Okay, we know why is garlic important. Well, curcumin is the active compound in the turmeric. We know that, and we know it's a very high antioxidant support for the liver cells from the damages, because we know that the liver is the detoxifier and it does get damaged in its own work. And of course, fructose molecules messes up the liver. Fructose molecules comes in the liquid fructose or the liquid fructose. The liquid fructose here could be things like high fructose corn syrup in cereals, sodas, and the next liquid fructose is coming in as what we call alcohol in all its form. Garlic is another one that is found there, and it's the powder. Notice it is not the extract from the garlic, but the raw garlic powder, and that enhances liver detoxification. We know garlic is said to be very good for reducing the fat buildup in the liver, and it is also helpful in removing toxins. So we have garlic in this supplement. We have ginger. Well, we all know that ginger is very good for antioxidant support and it would protect the liver from oxidative stress and also from inflammation. Now, the licorice root, which is very well known to support the liver, hepatoprotective effect of licorice root is well known in that community that we speak about when we say the natural healing medicines. We speak a lot about the licorice root. The one thing that I would have said is that for licorice root, I think it does something to the blood pressure. We have to know, although it's in a small quantities here, because these are just small capsules that has everything combined, wonderful. But there is this well-researched paper on, I think it's the licorice root that has a different format that might be even better for us. But licorice is there, and we know licorice has hepatoprotective, liver protective effects, right? And it helps the liver with the enzymatic activities. It helps reduce inflammation of the liver. So this is wonderful. Again, just this alone has bring this supplement up to me 50% wonderful. Just 50% wonderful, because think about it. You have 5, 6, 7, 8 supplements using. You might be using them in teas. You might be using curcumin in teas. Just remembering to do all these things if you are working on your liver is just a long way from home. And these are just 4 or 5 already. Choline. Well, some people don't know about choline. Choline is naturally found in eggs. Choline is important in fat metabolism. Choline helps prevent the fatty liver disease that is caused by fructose. Choline is naturally found in egg. At one time, choline was actually on the B vitamin list. Maybe because it didn't start with B and call it bowling, they said let's throw it out and just forget it. Let's call it choline and tell everybody nothing about it. So there is some choline in this format there. Choline is very important to have. There is alfalfa from the Medicago sativa strain. We have alfalfa, and it is believed, this is now herbal medicine, it is believed that it is also great at stimulating the functions of the liver and aiding in the removal of toxins. So the alfalfa, which a lot of persons would tell you they use alfalfa juice and green juice, the alfalfa juice, alfalfa grass, wheatgrass, these two are said to be good at detoxification, or based upon the Trio protocol, they are stimulants. So they stimulate the liver to do some detoxification, okay, to do the detoxification process. So we have alfalfa in that mix. We have the great Panax ginseng. We know the Panax ginseng protects the liver and also help in the improvement of the antioxidant capacity of the liver. So that's very strong. So we're up to about 65% here. Now we have the big guy, burdock root. If you don't know about burdock root, at least you could go and read about burdock root. I would not even mention about burdock root because it's well played up in the healing space. Burdock root being a very important one. Now look at what's going on here. We have yellow dock. What is yellow dock? So you heard about burdock a lot, and it's great for the liver. Everybody hear about burdock, great for the liver and great for detoxification of the liver, great for cleansing of the blood. Because remember, no herb cleanses the blood. There is a stimulant that cleanses the liver, and in this case, burdock root is a stimulant that causes the liver to go in cleansing mode. Alfalfa also. Burdock causes the liver to go in cleansing mode. When it goes in cleansing mode, what passes through the liver? Blood from the circulatory system. When those blood come through the liver is now in cleansing mode, so it's now saying, let me pull out stuff. So burdock is good for cleansing the blood. Really, does burdock cleanse the blood or send something that dissolve away the toxins? No, it causes the liver to go in the stimulator. The stimulation from burdock is on the liver, causing it to go in a mode for cleansing. So burdock root, wonderful. But here is yellow dock. You may not have heard about yellow dock, but the yellow dock is well known to be stimulating the production of bile. My favorite topic is on bile. Why? Because bile saved me, or bile is saving me, or bile saved me, or I saved me by knowing about bile, because I saved my gallbladder too. How? Because when you have bile flow, you see yellow dock would stimulate the production of bile, and when you have bile flow becoming thin and moving, then you don't have the smudging in your gallbladder. And again, folks, I always say, once we speak about gallbladder, you have to remember those good healthy fats which would be in your eggs. And for the vegetarians, you may find it in olive oil. Get some avocado oil, get some coconut oil, get some coconuts and nuts, like I think it's walnuts, or one of those fatty things to consume, so that you stimulate your bile every day. Cocoa tea is very good too. Real cocoa, not those extracted Dutch processed or other type processed cocoa. Real 100% chocolate is cocoa. It has for the stimulate the production of CCK, a hormone that squeezes the gallbladder and release what is inside the gallbladder. You need to do that every day. Flush your toilet, the gallbladder, every day. If you are a vegetarian, if you are a meat eater, you could just ignore all that I said. You are putting in those kind of fats in your body anyhow. Eggs, meat, it's natural. So we are looking at yellow dog, which helps in the production of bile, stimulates the production of bile. And bile, as we know, is the pulling out of things from the liver. Don't only think about bile from what we have heard in the biology class, that bile is for the emulsification of fat. You have to think about bile now, because we are looking at it from the liver. Production of bile in the liver is also cleansing of the blood. Remember, just go back to the start of the video to get the intro on this. Now let's go on to the next ingredient we have here. Some yellow dock powder. So yellow dock, Now, L-methionine, I would have mentioned that to many persons that this is the essential amino acid that needs to be in the body. Once we are speaking about liver detoxification and cleansing, you must have your. That is why you have to buy a copy of the 3 Protocol, my friends, to understand why no matter what you are doing with any of these supplements, you have to supply the key essential amino acids, the key essential fatty acids, and the key essential trace minerals. These things are only stimulating. Yellow dock is stimulating bile. Dock is stimulating the liver to cleanse. Panax is ginseng is also a stimulant. These all here are stimulants that are doing a wonderful job to get the liver back up and running. But when the liver is back up and running, you need to have the protocol to tell you fatty acids, amino acids, trace minerals are now needed to do the repair function in the liver and to also help the liver to create bubble wrapping ingredients and do other things. So L-methionine, well-known amino acid that is one of the critical amino acids. It's one of the 9 essential amino acids. You need to have it when you are doing anything on the liver because it is the one that will promote the production of glutathione, another protein or another amino acid, and it is glutathione is the key detoxifier of our body. They might tell you phase 1, phase 2, but it is the key trash remover from the body. So notice this supplement is not just pulling a whole set of herbals, it's pulling now the amino acids into the mix, the key essential amino acid needed by the liver. L-methionine. Chicory root again is another herbal that helps stimulate the production of bile, but it also supports digestion. So this now is giving who? The gate number 1, digestive system, some support. Chicory root is good in terms of supporting digestion and in the stimulation of the production and release of bile. So basically it would be called a beta herb in my book. Astragalus, you may have heard about astragalus. Again, it helps reduce the oxidative stress, and these are herbals, right? Yarrow, if you are following the herbal community, you would know that yarrow, and it's the whole plant powder that is being used. So yarrow is excellent for bile flow and digestion. Now notice yarrow and a couple of the others here for bile flow like chicory root and those things, they are all included in very small quantities, and that is what makes this supplement, maybe good, because it doesn't say to you, well, maybe yarrow wouldn't work. It's saying put a little bit in and let's take this to the level where your liver really gets a proper stimulation, but you don't leave it hanging to say we have stimulated you, what else? No, we have stimulated you and we have given you methionine, the amino acid, so that you could now go and make glutathione and you could really purge out and clean the blood and heal yourself, which is the liver itself, and get back to a state of life. Liver is live, and you put the R is liver. We are living through our liver. Now there is a whole heaping set there that you would see that is important. Celery. The celery seeds are known to reduce inflammation in the liver, and it supports the detoxification process. Another herbal. We all know about celery juice. These are celery. They have grape seed extract. You can read up more about that one. You have feverfew. It supports the detoxification pathways of the liver. And of course, red clover, very important for the ladies, for bile flow, and also it has some protective effect. Berberine. We know berberine is used for those who have diabetes because it helps reduce fatty liver disease by blocking that pathway for the pathway that causes liver to store fat. Now again, folks, you can't be on such a great supplement and be consuming a lot of fructose, because you will be fighting on one end to clean out your liver, fix your liver, and you are consuming a lot of fructose and a lot of grains. Therefore, you are fighting or losing battle. You cannot be doing that to yourself. Fructose and grains, and I said fructose in its 2 forms, the alcohol, and fructose in its form when it's not non-alcohol, which is raw fructose itself in the liquid format, like the juices, the sodas, the high fructose corn syrup that you mix with your milk called cereals, and the alcohol are all fructose. Remember, alcohol is fructose just fermented by yeast. Therefore, what you are looking at here is fructose cannot be inputted into the body when you are fighting a battle that you want to win. You want to win this battle, you need to get rid of the source of fructose. You may want to win the battle and then get back to fruits and understand the rules of fruits, which is eat your fruit whole on an empty stomach. Now let's go down to the next one. So we have yarrow from the whole plant, so that's not no extracted stuff. We have now the jujube fruit extract. We have also celery. We have the grape seed extract. We have feverfew extract. We have red clover. We have berberine, which is important for the liver. Now these here, you may not have thought about them and liver. These are critical substances for the liver. Bile salts, which is, we used to use ox bile for people who have bile salts issues. Todca, which is a bile salt, helps with thinning the bile and getting the bile to flow so that you reduce your problem and the buildup of bile in the thick form. You need to get Todca. So in my case, I have been using Todca. In fact, I'll get to that later on. Then we have NAC, N-acetylcysteine. Again, it boosts the levels for production of glutathione. But you don't take NAC and you say, well, I take in NAC, so forget methionine. You have to know that you have essential amino acid, methionine, which would cause the creation. And when you want to boost the creation, you get a booster. NAC is your booster. For the same thing called glutathione. So you need methionine and you need NAC. And these are in that supplement. Whoever is the person who made that supplement, I need to speak to them and shake their hand. Now let's get to the big guys. Now the bigger guys, everybody knows there are lots of research on milk thistle for the liver. You would say, what is a good supplement on Amazon for liver? They would say milk thistle. But milk thistle is just one great supplement that would give the liver some strong protective effects. It would improve liver function. So it's a very well-known good herbal supplement for liver support. However, you want to support the liver in 360 by giving it N-acetylcysteine and methionine. Artichoke again, another wonderful one for the liver. It promotes bile production and it aids in digestion, and the entire movement of bile means you are pulling the waste material out of the liver. Forget what bile does when it goes into the duodenum. Forget that role of bile. Just think about what happens when you have your river flowing from the liver out to the gallbladder and from the gallbladder down to the duodenum. A flowing river is a clean river. A stagnated river, a backed up river, means your liver is going to be backed up. Artichoke. Beetroots. We all know we drink our beetroots and celery juice to support and promote the production of bile. Beet leaves are actually better for the production of the bile flow, but beetroots also support the liver and helps in the production of bile. Beet leaves, you have to drink a lot, but it's there. I would not say the next one name, but I will say it's Stonebreaker. This is the name it's well known as, Stonebreaker. And we know what Stonebreaker is for. It's not just for the liver, but it's also for the kidney bladder. And both bladders, the gallbladder, which is the liver bladder, and the kidney has a bladder which is called the liver bladder, the kidney bladder. We know that they both could, accumulate things if the river is not flowing well, and stones could form. So Stonebreaker is well known herbal for that. Dandelion for the production of bile again, bile flow and the production. These bitter herbs are very important to have in your system for the production of bile. And why do you think they put black pepper there? I don't know for the liver, but the black pepper is critical to work with the first thing that we spoke about, which is called turmeric. To extract and make turmeric, curcumin bioavailable from turmeric, we need to have black pepper. And of course, a little milk would have been good too. So how do you use such a great supplement? Well, first of all, this great supplement is a supplement that you have to understand is for the liver. I rate it 100 right now. There are some improvements I could suggest for it, but it says take 2 a day. So if you want to follow a protocol, remember the trio protocol is simple. 3 protocol says anything that you do stimulates an organ, the cells, the whole body. So in this case, when you take these supplement 2 a day, or like me, I start with 1 for a week and then I increase when everything is fine. So if you start with 1, you increase after. You need to keep ensuring you are getting your amino acids. You have amino acids here, just this one, but you have to get your 9 essential amino acids. You have to get your fatty acids, at least the omega-3, omega-6 supplement if you don't have fish and beef. And you have to get your eggs input to get at least those amino acids from eggs. If you are vegetarian, please find your source of amino acids and make sure that you are getting it in. So how I would use this supplement, I use this supplement with my body health. So I tie this with my body health amino acid powder, not protein powder, my amino acid powder from body health, which you could find in the link tree link of there in somewhere in the description. You will find the link tree and you will find both this link for this supplement for liver support. Again, the goal and the message: protect. You have to protect your liver. Protect your liver. What is coming into your liver? You have to protect your liver. You have to guard your gut and protect your liver. How you guard your gut? Make sure that the pH is 1 and 2. And we speak about that again over and over. And how you protect your liver? Well, try not to put so much of those high fructose corn syrup in. Try to keep your glucose intake via the mouth to tie it up with fiber if you have to take in glucose. But the more you can reduce on glucose, which is everything plant is going to give you glucose. Anything that you are eating in a plant is glucose sugar. And a lot of fruits have fructose. Do not juice your fruits. Eat it on an empty stomach. Eat the fruit on an empty stomach. Let the fructose molecule move from the mouth down into the colon, where the colon bacteria would eat up the fructose, convert the fiber into important things like butyrate and arsenate, propionate, so forth and so on. So this is my recommendation for my liver support. So when I say my recommendation is for my liver support, I would not go on the net and buy any singular ingredient anymore. This I have, well, this one is the expensive one. I had the beet leaves. I have a lot of that. I have this, well, black pepper and turmeric I make. And I have, well, I have this, N-acetyl-cysteine. I spoke about that. Berberine, red clover, yarrow, burdock. I have burdock. Where's burdock? Burdock. I have choline. Now, when I added up all these different ingredients that I would have bought over the years, and I see that this is what, 50 US, one mix, 30, 50 US. I say, wow. But today, if you click the link, I think it is now 30 US special price. If you click the link today in the description. Study these ingredients, folks. Think about them for the liver and see what is best for you. Thank you for viewing AI Health Insight Out.